We're going live in 7 minutes. I'm just getting everything ready so that when it's not 8 o'clock, then we're ready to go live. So just got to find everything and share it. Okay, there's the live. So we're going live. It's preparation for tomorrow morning's live for the 15 games. So we've been playing it all weekend, and tomorrow morning we're going to find out about the maths within it. So that'll be 9 o'clock tomorrow morning. And that's not it. Here we go. So I'm sharing it on the Bubbly Maths Facebook page. Share to a page. We're going to be ready in 6 minutes. If you're joining us, 6 minutes till we're actually live. Got to share it in a few places. Say something about this. It's 15 game. So this is letting you know what we're going to be doing tomorrow. So whilst we've been playing the game over the weekend, we're going to, so if you want to see what, actually you've got time to go and look at one of the lives from earlier to see what the game was like to play it. It's a really simple game to play, but it can be played at lots of different levels. And it's a great game for doing maths at home and without even thinking that you're doing maths. So that's the really good games. It's doing maths, strategizing without even realizing it. Sunday night prep, Sunday PM prep. Here we go, post. That's the page done. Got 5 minutes. We're starting in 5 minutes time. Now I'm going to, if I can, this is always the challenge. So where am I here? So that's interesting. It's on my news feed. I still don't know why it goes on my news feed and not on the group. I still don't understand. It doesn't make sense to me. Right. So we're going to go and check out the page, Bubbly Maths page, make sure that's working right. Then we've got the group. So that's making maths fun for kids of all ages. There we go. We should be on there because we didn't have to, because that's where we've launched it. Yes. Okay, great. Hello, welcome. We're starting in 4 minutes. We're going to, where are we? Going to, no, that's not doing it. Oh, that's the wrong one. That's why. Can't start a watch party for something that's not a video. That wouldn't work at all. So it's not for a group. It's not for a group. We're sharing on my timeline. And what am I saying about it? Preparing for tomorrow morning's live of the 15 game. This time we're learning about the maths. We're learning about the maths. There we go. 2 minutes to go, and I'll go ahead and start that watch party when the 2 minutes are, well, when there's 1 minute to go, I think. Okay, so got everything I need. We've got, I meant to point this out. So this is the game we're going to play. Well, we're not playing, we're talking about it tonight. It won't be a very long live. I think I'll probably spend more time setting it up and getting it ready to go than actually doing the live, at least on the evening ones. Well, actually, while we're waiting, the challenge, this week's challenge is make a cube out of a toilet roll. So that's a box. See if you can make all the edges the same length, so every face is a square. with the minimum amount of cuts. And obviously, if you are a young person, then so we want then get help from your grown-ups. So you want it as good a cube as you can possibly make it. Send in pictures, send in methods, send in videos if you can, and if you and we'll post up our favorite ones at the end of the week, and do say what age the person is that's made it, so that we can make an assessment accordingly. And so that's what our toilet roll challenge of the week. So make a cube with a toilet roll. Right, I think it's ready to go. So we're going to start the live on my timeline. So welcome everyone. Once that live is off, we're off. Oh, hello, Miss McGough and Sarah Patterson. Hello, welcome. And we've got the live on there. If I can get my act together and refresh. And then we've got the live on here. And once we've got the live on there, we go. And okay, and I've just got to see what you can see. And we are totally, oh, it's 8 o'clock. Perfect timing. Here we go. Right, I can see what you can see. Hello. Ooh, just demolish the whole building, why don't you? Okay, so we have been playing the 15 game all weekend. The 15 game is, I had it lined up here for you to look at, and then I didn't point it at it. 15 game is basically using 9 numbers. The you only allowed to use each one of the numbers once, and take it in turns. You can either play it in a team, or you can play it in just in pairs. And the first person to, by choosing numbers that add up to 15, then you've won, the first person to do that. And then there's all kinds of maths around it. So that's the game itself there. And then if you look down here, do 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 do. There we go. Can we get that in focus? I think that's back in focus there. Not sure if you can read it or not. Okay. Anyway, what it says is it advantage to go first or second? Can you work out how to play this game so that nobody can beat you? And then write down all the different combinations of 3 numbers that sum up to 15. So there, you want, oh, I didn't know that. I was playing earlier, I didn't know that. Oh, I've only just seen that rule. You can't use 2 numbers to make 15, or 4 numbers. It must be 3 numbers. So it must be 3 numbers, and they must add up to 15, not more, not less, but 15. So there you go. So I hadn't read that rule. Now I've read the rule. So it must be 3 numbers, and it must add up to 15, no more, no less. So there's lots of lovely maths around it. So tomorrow what we're going to do is we're going to look at games. We're going to look at that for early learners. Like yesterday morning, if you want to replay the live, we had a live for early years at 10 o'clock. It's on the group, and it's for 10 o'clock. And I used spots on cards rather than, so that the young ones didn't have to, well, it was just like get them to keep adding up until they got to 10, depending what age you're at. Started with 10, then you can develop up to 15. By the time they, my grandson knows his numbers now. So I'm just thinking, comparing. So he would actually be quite happy using numbers, although the dots help as well, because he still has to think about the dice. Yeah, he's kind of in between just knowing and needing to count the dice dots. So the point being, but you can use both. You can use the dots and the actual digits. And so that's for early years. And then we're going to, for primary, we're going to be dealing with letters, kind of words instead. And what they've got to do is get all the words, 3 words that have the same letter. So if you get 3 words with F, you've won. And again, is that possible? And then for lower secondary, we're going to do basically a magic square. So it's a square made up of 9 numbers, and we're going to do a section with that. So there's something for lower secondary. And then for kind of middle years of secondary, there's another game to play. It's called the Game of Jam, and it looks like fun. It's just a game like that to play. And then for the older ones, that's all in the resource, and there's a resource for teachers if you're a teacher, and there's also a resource for home learning, which doesn't go into so much detail, but it really helps being able to follow and really help your learners have a challenge. Because this really is truly one of those activities where it's low threshold, high ceiling. You can enter it at any level. You can count 5 dots, or you can answer this question here, which is explain the equivalence of, there are 5. There's one game that we haven't played there, but there's 5 games on there, and it's basically analyzing and working out the equivalences. And then there's a lovely word, isomorphism. Isomorphism, yes. Greek iso meaning the same, morph meaning change. So, and this is interesting. So this concept is tremendously important in mathematics, and I'll just read what it says. It carries with it the crucial information about the object while discarding irrelevant information. So, with those word problems that you can struggle with, that's what you want to do with those. You want to extract the information that you need and disregard the irrelevant information. So that's a really important concept for those. And in this case, that mentions the context. We have to evaluate the context, and it's about the relationships and the structure. You're looking for the relationships and the structure, the pattern basically that is the same in all 5. And here we're going to read this. Isomorphism is very useful because if you recognize the structure and have seen it from another form, then you already know a lot about it. So it saves work. And some of this can be discovered by learners if they meet all of these games. So if you play all of them, so you want the older learners to play the very basic 15 game and play all of the games in there. And there's another game mentioned, which I'm not going to repeat again. See if you can work it out. A very common game that it's basically, what other game that's very common is equivalent to the games that we have played here. So that's going to be tomorrow morning. It's going to be, we'll play a little bit. So we'll just have a go at playing the different games, just introduce them so that you can then follow through with them. And the resources are in the announcements on the group. So that's Making Maths Fun for Kids of All Ages group. It's in the announcements at the top. So you can just click on the resource, and then you have a home learning resource. You have a resource for teachers. Then there's a bit of a crib sheet, which is this one here, which just takes you through the very basics. Just boom, 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 without too much extra. And then you've got the actual game itself, which is just 2 pages to simply play the 15 game. And that's about it. So what I'm going to ask you to do is, please, if you like what you're seeing on the Making Maths Fun for Kids of All Ages group, please do share it on your Facebook and let other people know about it. recommend that they come and join the group. And the more the merrier, really, and start and engage in the questions. If you have any ideas, send in pictures and results that you've been having to help other people, encourage other grown-ups that are struggling with maths at home at the moment. And then we've got our YouTube channel. Yes, Maths Toys. So it's YouTube. Oh, I've done it on here. I think for once, I think I've done it. I managed to get, it's a real learning curve for me. Okay, you ready? Are you ready? Let's turn this around. We have, now I'm hoping it's the right way around for you. We have our YouTube channel, youtube.com. You put a little C there. Maths Toys. That's it. We have the URL. And then the Facebook, the AIMSEC SA Facebook page is a page where these resources are on this website, aiminghigh.aimsec.ac.za. There you've got links to all of this, all these resources, and you've got all of these links in the group, in the post above. But on the Aiming High website are hundreds of resources like this, resources that you can do at home, resources that are accessible, and they come under the auspices of AIMSEC. Now, AIMSEC, this is the group that we're in, Making Maths Fun for Kids of All Ages. Just search it on Facebook. If you and please do subscribe to the YouTube channel. All that on this YouTube channel will be videos that relate to all the resources on the Aiming High page, website. Oh dear, is it a page? Is it a group? Is it a YouTube? Is it a, oh my goodness, right. So AIMSEC is an organization that provides courses for professional development for teachers. So amazing people, and I'm so delighted to keep welcoming more and more and more of these teachers onto this group so that we can provide real support. So we're providing support for people doing home education who having to, with no choice in the matter, having to home educate at the moment. These teachers in South Africa, most of them, there are training courses that happen all around Africa. They go, the professional development courses that AIMSEC provides literally is transforming the way that, because most of us have been taught maths in a way, the educational, learning how to facilitate the learning of maths is a fairly, it's not widespread enough, let's put it that way. And I certainly didn't learn the way that ideally learners should be learning maths. And but the teachers that are teaching that way were never taught. And so what's happening in Africa, it's very exciting that the AIMSEC is actually run by one of the most amazing maths learning facilitators in the world. I mean, she's just a most amazing person. She's done a lot of things and won a Queen's Award and all kinds of things. And she set up this organization in Africa when she retired to provide courses for teachers in Africa. And the result is that people that were taught in a very basic way, in a very rote learning, what they call tell and test, basically, they are going on these courses and then it's ongoing. So we've got a lot of the alumni now joining this group, and it's an ongoing process and they know it. And all these resources were originally made to help those teachers in their classrooms to provide rich mathematical activities. And they've got huge classes, and compared with what we have certainly in Europe. And because the activities are low threshold, high ceiling, They can engage all different learners at different levels. They've got an incredibly difficult job and also a huge amount of responsibility, because the children that they teach, the ones that teachers that go on the AIMSEC courses, at least the ones that we raise the bursaries for, are in disadvantaged communities, in rural areas, and their way out of poverty is through education. Nelson Mandela stated it, and we agree, and the teachers agree, and what we're all working towards is giving the children that live in these disadvantaged communities and rural areas the choice, giving them the choice and the tools to get themselves out of poverty if they choose to do so, and give for them the choice. So that's what it's all about. And we will be starting fundraising at some point as well, so that we can send more teachers. All the teachers that are on here tell other teachers, and those teachers want to go on the courses, and there's only sometimes the courses run and they're not fully occupied because the funding, there hasn't been sufficient funding. So at Bubbly Maths, we're always doing our best to raise more money for AIMSEC. So I'm climbing Mount Kilimanjaro again for my 60th in 18 months time. Oh my goodness, in 18 months time, yes. And also every year we have a global STEAM lesson. So what's a global STEAM lesson? STEAM is science, technology, engineering, art, and mathematics. So in my world, art, creativity puts the power into STEM. A lot of people have heard of STEM, science, technology, engineering, mathematics. So on the 17th of September, whether people are in school or not, there will be a global STEAM lesson. And this year it's on, and this is a complete coincidence, Florence Nightingale was born 200 years ago. So we were already planning our global STEAM lesson to be based on health, on global health, and literally controlling disease. And then the pandemic happened. So it's very timely, and we'll be celebrating Florence Nightingale's birthday, and she was a mathematician, if you didn't know that, and also celebrating other women in maths. And the lessons will be called super stats, and it's about statistics in health. So a more topical subject it could not have been. And that's how it is. So that we'll have the lesson will be low threshold, high ceiling. So it'll be attainable it'll be aimed at people aged 8 to 14, but there'll be activities that 5 to 18-year-olds will be happy to participate in. On that, please do everybody to get people to come and join the group, and go and subscribe to our YouTube channel, youtube.com/c/maths toys. And on that, I'm going to check, see if what I have been ignoring our lovely guests. Let's see if there's anybody having a chat anywhere here. I didn't actually play that, so I don't know. Here we go. Let's see. Andy Davis, Heather Saad from South Africa, my friend Ian from London. Hi, Caroline and Terry Hart. Thank you so much for joining us. And yeah, no questions to answer at this point. Okay, thank you very much for joining us. 9 o'clock in the morning tomorrow to find out the maths behind this game we've been playing all weekend. You can see the replays of the game and play it. We've just been playing it, so you can just get on and play it with us by playing the replay. And then tomorrow, I always do a little live at 10 that'll be based on, not sure, haven't decided what we're doing yet, but 10. We might just do the same game again that we played on Saturday, because for the littlies, for the very young learners, we just play. And well, we play maths, but we play. And then tomorrow night we'll be introducing whatever it is we're doing on Tuesday, which I don't know what it is yet. Tony is producing these home learning guides daily so that whatever I introduce in the mornings or in the evenings, I introduce it in the evenings, you can go ahead and really get your teeth into. And if you do have any questions, please do post them in the group, get support, and we wish you success and sanity, and keep your chin up. Thank you so much, and please do get in touch if you need support. Now I've got to find where the bit is to end the Facebook Live. Thank you very much.